Okay, it is the beginning of August, and I hate to say it, but the heat of the summer is kicking in. It can start to feel like the garden's getting tired, and it's an easy, slippery slope to stop feeling like, I'm done with the garden. Let's deal with it next year. That's not the case. We still got a long ways to go. Let's talk about it. Okay, so even on a ponds, it's not uncommon that maybe we're getting a little debris build up. The water lilies have been exploding, but my hardy lilies have stopped blooming. Starting to get more and more yellow leaves around the outside. Plants are overgrown. Algae can start popping up. There's lots of things that can be happening. Even in the landscapes, some perennials and flowers are just coming into their own. Other areas are still looking great. If you did some succession planting, you have some flowers going in and out. But by and large, by August, most perennials, most gardens can start looking a little tired. And we start getting busy. A lot of us get into end of summer mode, maybe taking family vacations, maybe you're just busy. And before we know it, we're going to feel like it's over with and then chalk it off. We still have plenty of times. Let's take a quick look over at them. We'll look at the pond first, see some of the tricks that we can do to ensure that, around here, our pond should be looking good well into October, November. And so, but there's some tricks we can do to speed things along and help it stay looking good. Okay, so the biggest thing is the water's cooling off. We're not in the 90s anymore here. We're in the 80s. Water temperature's already starting to drop. So I'm starting to notice a little bit darker water, a little bit more string algae. We are by no means cold. The fish are still hungry. But the key is, I find, is just don't keep cranking the food on them. They're going to want to keep eating. If you start weaning off the food a little bit, then it forces them to eat that little extra string algae. So as the water's cooling down, if you're noticing more algae, lighten up on the food. Now, this is a tropical lily. It only flowers at night. But go around and start ripping off these leaves. You can see lilies stop popping up in the center, then the leaves start expanding out, so the oldest leaves are on the outside. And so if I go through here and rip those out, same thing with this hardy lily. I might get another flower or two. You can see a couple more buds on that side that are going to pop open. But by and large, this hardy lily is not going to do a lot more for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to trim back all these leaves on the outside. It can just freshen it up. You get rid of those ugly leaves. Now, with perennials and such like that, some plants that are just growing so well, like my ornamental grasses, are really just coming into their own. But they're starting to creep into the gardens. They're starting to take over the beds. And that can just really make things look crowded and just, it's easy for those areas that start getting crowded to start getting brown and mildewy and just not look good. So whenever I get into the gardens, the Japanese maples are a good way to sit. The grasses are growing right into it. The trick I find is to go through like my hostas, and I'm going to trim back the outer leaves. That's going to get the brown off. Then I'm going to go around, and any of the plants that are growing into each other, just take a pair of scissors, cut them back. Ornamental grasses, I'm actually going to trim up the sides so that they don't grow into. It's amazing how by just opening up and letting a garden have space, stop the perennials from bleeding into each other. So these lantana that are kind of struggling right there, I'll go through and prune them back. I'll pull the ornamental grass back and up a little bit. Not messing with the flowers that are starting to come out, but just lifting the canopy, these prongs that are coming off. Then, so first of all, it's that. My little experiment with the little dahlia back there does not like it. It's not happy in the flower bed. It should have been in a planter, but cutting off all the dead flowers, cutting off any brown growth. Then, once I've opened all this stuff up, then I went through and fertilized. So I already snuck in some of the fertilizer. I do a spoma fertilizer. I'll fertilize once a month in the gardens. And then even if you're not fertilizing, if you don't have irrigation and you don't typically irrigate, it's amazing how even in August, a good dose of an organic slow release fertilizer and then a couple really deep waterings, even though they're all drought tolerant perennials, drought tolerant annuals, these are going to look great and just keep looking better and better all season long, because these proven winter angelonias and the mezu, all that is just going to keep thickening up. But it's amazing. A deep watering of all these gardens and a good dose of fertilizer can really rejuvenate and revitalize these plants, especially since half the plants I plant are leftovers out of the greenhouse. So they've been struggling as it is, but they're just starting to really come into their own, and there's no reason to chalk off on them. So even our tropicals are going to be the same thing. Go through, cut off the dead yellow leaves, thin them out, space them out, fertilize, and some deep waterings, and it's amazing how everything can rejuvenate and perk back up. Okay, so whether it's our lawn, the perennial gardens, going through, I kind of find at this time of year, it's the same principles. If my lawn has been staying green, we've had a number of videos on that, give it a couple good deep waterings. We are dry, so even though we are not hot, it's been, we got that little rain a week or so ago, but at the same time, it wasn't anything for volume. And in many areas, the soil is powder. So even though we're in the 80s, we're getting beautiful weather. There's no rain in the forecast. Now, the last few years, our falls have been extremely dry, but beautiful weather. So getting any trouble areas, a deep watering. Flower beds, same thing, deep watering. Doesn't mean you have to commit to watering all season. But with the ponds, the last thing I do is up in the waterfall. You don't want to clean out your biofalls. So if you have a biological filter up top, in this area, we don't fertilize or water any of this. In the pond, we're adding beneficial bacteria. So the landscapes, same principles all over the place. But the ponds, we're kind of just going through, and we do like a deep summer cleaning. So I'll go through, I'll take my bio balls out of the filter. Don't let them dry off. Don't hose them off. I'll just take them and I will schlep off the big, thick, heavy stuff, and I'll put them aside. Maybe even drop them in the pond. Then I'll go through, we shut the waterfall off, shop back down the inside, clean your filter pads, get down there. Those filters have been cleaning up all the muck. We don't normally touch it, but as long as you're not killing off your bacteria on the bio balls themselves, so do not hose them off, please, especially if you have town water. Just keep them moist, get the heavy stuff off. But the vacuuming, you can shut the waterfalls off and shop back out your filters, clean the filters mid-season, and then double up on your beneficial bacteria. Same thing, that's all we're doing here. Manual once-overs, give it a fresh dose of bacteria. Fertilize your plants, especially if you want to do the same thing with your aquatic lilies. I use an all year round fertilizer, but if you have not fertilized your lilies, you'd be surprised how your tropicals will perk up and you'll get flowers on and off all the way through October. So that's it. Take the principles that work in the landscape, apply them to your ponds, and both areas can look great for the next couple months. Hope that helps. Take care.